Hey there, Postal here. So some people have been asking me what the new event is from World of Warplanes and Wargaming, and exactly how they can try to try to earn that free premium plane. So I'm just going to go over the page here and give the lowdown on what you can do this weekend to try to earn this plane. There is some flexibility on getting in the top grouping, and we'll go over that in a second. So I'm just going to read it verbatim here. So Pilots, the fall campaign begins. Join battles of the most popular fighters within each period. Destroy enemy aerial targets and make your team victorious. Take part in the race for the Tier 9 McDonald XF-85 Goblin and other cool prizes. We're going to seize your chance to get onto the winners list for the highest number of personal points for destroying aerial targets over your 10 best battles, or for the highest number of personal points for destroying aerial targets in any number of battles. So I'm going to pause right there. That means you could have 10 ridiculously awesome battles. They could be spaced out throughout the weekend. They don't have to be back to back, but they would be counting as your 10 best. Or if you're the type of person that has off all 3 days and can just sit behind a computer, you can get the highest amount of personal points for just destroying those aerial targets. Now keep in mind, the highest number of personal points is for destroying the aerial targets. It sounds like it does say destroying aerial targets over your testbed battle. So this is all based on aerial targets. Keep that in mind when you're choosing your plane. We'll go over that in just a second. So prove yourself and take home a Tier 5 boomerang. We all know what the boomerang is. You can get tokens, days of premium account, gold, and supply crates. Special fall campaign chevrons will grant you the premium plane, as well as a stash of unique supplies. Don't miss out on your chance. So remember, these chevrons are what we utilize to try to earn the Goblin or the JL or the 302, any of those other planes that we saw on my last news update. I guess this wasn't verbatim at all, was it? So time participants in the mission. So it starts at 3, it's already started, 3 a.m. Eastern time today, September 13th, all the way through, looks like 3 a.m. Eastern time on the 15th. I would like to think that that's actually not the 15th. That would actually be the 16th Eastern time. If it's that's got to be the way this is. It's worded very poorly though. So it's, if you go by Pacific time, it's midnight Pacific time on the 13th to basically midnight Pacific time on the 15th. So you have 3 full days, 13th, 14th, 15th. It says 2:59 Eastern time, but that has to be on the 16th to give you that full 3 days. That's just the way it is. So you have to fly your favorite. Oh look, OU. It's European aircraft from the list. So that's the catch on this particular weekend mission. Whichever period you're in, period 1, period 2, period 3, you're going to be flying the most popular planes from that. The most popular fighter, the most popular multi-role, and the most popular heavy plane. The most popular at period 1 is for fighter tier 4, A6M1 to 0. For multi-roles, it's going to be the I-16E, which I absolutely love. And to nobody's great surprise, Tier 3 for the heavy is going to be the FW57. So there's your Period 1 planes. Your Period 2 planes are going to be Spitfire 1 at Tier 5. This one kind of surprised me, but I guess there's not a whole lot of multi-roles in Period 2. Anyway, the F4U-1 Corsair, I like that plane. And then again, to nobody's surprise, for the heavy plane, Tier 5 was the Beaufighter. Although the P-38, in my opinion, is probably a better plane, this one gets played a lot because it's got that awesome rear gunner. It's not even a rear gunner, it's just a top gunner that shoots everything, right? Anyway, so there's your second period planes. And for your big dogs, Tier 8 through Tier 10, no Tier 10 planes, which is kind of disappointing, but eh. The most popular light fighter plane, Spitfire 14. I'm not surprised. Most popular multi-role is going to be the F-94D, of course. And for the heavy is going to be the 262, your Tier 8. So these are the only planes you can use to actually earn these points. So you're going to see a lot of these planes out there on the battlefield. So you're going to use these planes, and do your best to score the highest number of personal points for destroying aerial targets. Keep that in mind. And all these can be combined. We're going to go over that in a second. You're really going to want to use a plane, whichever plane you use, or planes, because you can use all 3 of the plane options. You're going to keep that in mind, that it's for destroying aerial targets. You should be in planes that are going to destroy a lot of planes. And so, well, we'll go from there. So your rating will be based on the number of personal points for destroying aerial targets. You must play at least 10 battles on any of the listed aircraft and score at least 3,000 personal points in each battle. Your results will be totaled for all the aircraft within one period, so you can use them all to participate in the event, like I said. So you could, if you're going to be in period 2, you could use a Spitfire. If you die after the squall line, you can hop right out of it and hop into a Corsair or hop into your Beaufighter and continue to earn personal points with those planes. Each historical period has an additional 2 separate ratings for mastery and perseverance. So remember, you can get ratings for the top 10 battles that you can possibly get in that period, just your best 10 battles, or just overall personal points added up. You've got those 2 different categories that it's calculating it automatically. Rating mastery, the score with the highest number of personal points for destroying aerial targets over 10 battles. We already discussed that. You can fight in any number of battles, but only the 10 with your best results. So I could fly 100 times in my Spitfire 14, and it's going to take the 10 best ones out of that. And that's going to go towards the mastery rating. Now, those 100 battles that I just flew will all go towards this rating of perseverance. This joins combats and flight for more in any number of battles. Joins combats and flight for more in any number of battles. So the more personal points for destroying aerial targets you receive, the better. So those 100 flights that I might have in my Spitfire 14, all the points for destroying aerial targets will go towards perseverance, while only the top 10 will go towards mastery. You cannot be the winner in the list for 2 or more ratings simultaneously. So what that means is, let's say I'm in the list for mastery. I've got 10 really great battles with my Spitfire. It took me 100 battles, but it's going to keep me in the top rating for mastery, not for perseverance, or vice versa. It's not. I can't win both of those, basically. So the task is simple. Choose the period, play at least 10 battles on the list of the aircraft for a corresponding period. You can fly them all, and grab your prizes. Please note there's no way to track your in-game progress. This is kind of a bummer, in my opinion. Bummer's probably an understatement. I'd like to see where I'm at. Twofold. If I'm doing really well, like let's say I'm just 19th, and I really want to make sure I'm in the top 20, how much more do I need to do do I really need to stress out about it? Or is 20th so far below me that it's not a big deal? Or am I in the top, am I just so far ahead of everybody that I'm not going to be there? But you know what I mean. I want to be able to see where I'm at, so that way I know if I need to continue to just plug along, or if I don't want to waste my time either. If I'm number 300th and I just can't get to the top 20, okay. You get what I mean? You get what I mean. Results will be announced in the 7-day time frame. So sometime within a week after this event, we'll get a notification on that. If you already have the awarded aircraft, so that's basically saying if you win and you get the boomerang, you'll just get gold for the boomerang and gold for the hangar slot. It's got the rewards broken up into the different periods, but I've looked through it. All the periods get the same rewards. So yeah, I'm not going to go over all of them. So it says period 1, but this can be for period 2 and 3 as well. If you're in the top 5, you can get your boomerang. And this is for mastery or perseverance. It's all the same stuff all the way across the board. So if you're in the top 5 for either one of these, you'll get your boomerang. You'll get a hangar slot to hold your boomerang. You're going to get 100% trained crew to go in your boomerang. You're going to get 7 days of premium account, which is pretty good, in my humble opinion. 5 supply crates, which is a crapshoot. Who knows if they're going to be good or not. 20 tokens, which nobody should turn down tokens, and 3 chevrons. So remember, those chevrons go towards the 16 chevrons that you want to try to get the XF-85 Goblin. And so that's where you're getting these chevrons from. So that's what you can get if you're in the top 5 for either perseverance or mastery. If you're in the top 10, top 6 through 10, you get 1,000 gold. So you don't get the plane, but you get 1,000 gold. You get 5 days of premium time, which again is great. 5 supply crates, which again is a crapshoot. 15 tokens, which you'll take, and 2 chevrons. So still getting chevrons is a big deal. 11th through 20th, so the bottom 20, you get 500 gold. Yeah, you'll take it. 5 days of premium time, which is probably the most impactful thing in this grouping. 3 supply crates, 15 tokens, and 1 chevron. So I mean, even just getting top 20, you're still going to get some good stuff. Premium account time is really good in my opinion. You earn a bunch, 50% more silver than you would normally earn, and yeah, I mean, I've got premium time right now, and it definitely helped be able to get all the planes that I've gotten. So that's what you get when you get in the top 20. I hope this gave some clarity when it came to the missions for this week. So let's say you're going to be in period 1. If you've got 2 of these planes, you want to hop in one of those planes at a time, and I'd fight at least 10 battles in each one. Maybe you'll get top 10. You just get a better chance of having 10 really good battles if you're doing it in 2 different planes. So if I was going to be doing this, period 1, I've only got the I-16E. Period 2, I've got the F4U1 Corsair because it is a great plane, and I've got the Beaufighter. So I'd probably hop in the Corsair, and then if for some reason, like if I died after Squall Line, I'd just hop out of the game and get into my Beaufighter, and I'd just keep tag teaming these 2. Same with period 3. I've got the Spitfire 14 and I've got the Starfire. Sorry, 262, I didn't quite like you actually. And so what I'll do is I'll hop in my Spitfire or hop in my Starfire and just try to knock out 10 battles in that. Remember, this is for the whole weekend, so it's not like you got to knock it out tonight. Don't ignore your family just to get your battles in, right? But it's definitely doable. The thing of it is the more time you've got, the better chance you have to having really epic battles. So, like I was mentioning, if I play 100 battles in a Spitfire 14, eventually I'm going to have a handful of really good games in it, right? So if you can play a bunch of games, play a bunch of the games. Definitely go for a period that you feel that you can kind of consolidate and get as many personal points as possible. I think that if you try to spread it out over too many different periods, like you can only win mastery or perseverance in one period. So pick a period and go with it. If you have really good faith in yourself in the tier 1 through 4, go with that. If you think tier 5 through 7 is your strong point, do that. If tier 8 through 10 is your strong point, go with that. I don't know which one I'm actually going to aim for, but that's going to be my tactic. It's just to kind of go all in on one and put all my energy towards that. So anyway, I hope this gave some clarity to you guys. I know I got a handful of questions from people out in the community. Yeah. Hopefully I'll see you all out there on the battlefield, and best of luck to everybody.